How's it going, everyone? This is Boots with Snapkeep Arcade, back with the latest MTG Arena news. Chris Clay just released the December state of the beta, and it goes over the next update, which launches tomorrow, December 13th, and introduces the new ranking system. So let's get right into it. Chris Clay says, we're adding a new ranking system to MTG Arena. There will be seasons, each lasting approximately 1 month, and you'll be able to earn rewards based on which rank you can achieve. For the preseason, the reward structure is as follows. And before you ask, we do plan on expanding the types of rewards players can earn during ranked seasons, namely once cosmetics have been added to the game. If you end the season in each rank, you'll receive the following rewards: Bronze, 1 pack; Silver, 1 pack and 500 gold; Gold, 2 packs and 1000 gold; Platinum, 3 packs and 1000 gold; Diamond, 4 packs and 1000 gold; Mythic, 5 packs and 1000 gold. Ranks will operate separately for constructed and limited, and you will earn rewards for both your constructed rank and limited rank separately. You can see your rank and progress towards advancement here. Each rank has 4 tiers, with tier 1 being the best tier within that rank. There's a number of steps at each tier, and winning and losing games gives or removes your steps as follows. So he provides this graph that breaks down the steps necessary to advance a rank. So it's broken down into steps and tiers and then ranks. So for bronze, once you get 2 wins, that counts as 1 step. And then the steps you need to advance into silver are 4. So if you win 8 games, you get to go into silver. If you lose a game, there is no penalty in bronze. And for silver, you need 2 wins for a step, and you need 5 steps to get into gold. After that, it becomes a little bit more simple, with 1 win equaling 1 step, or you need 6 wins to get out of gold. You need 7 wins out of platinum and 7 wins out of diamond. However, between silver and diamond, each loss puts you back a step. Once you get enough steps, you'll move into the next tier at that rank, and if you're at tier 1, into the next rank. Once you ascend into a new rank, you're safe for the rest of the season. Losing games will never move you down to a lower rank. It can push you down a tier within a rank, but we will offer some protection when you first move into a tier. In Mythic, you'll be able to see what percentile among Mythic players you're in, or what rank you are, 1 to 1000. If you're in the top 1000 Mythic players, note that your percentile or rank can go up or down after each game, and even when you are not logged in due to the games of other players. Currently, this will only be presented to you when you complete a ranked game, but we're planning to show it everywhere your rank is displayed in a future release. So it's really cool that you'll be able to see where you're ranked if you're between 1 and 1000. That's going to be a huge incentive for players to put their name on that board. I'm just a little concerned because right now it seems really easy to me to rank up to Mythic. I thought it was going to be a much harder process, and maybe I'm wrong on this. You know, maybe it just seems like it's easy, but when I get down to it, that 1 loss will make a huge difference somehow. I'm excited to see how this plays out. I was hoping for something a little bit more difficult, and I was also hoping for better end of season rewards, but we'll just have to see how that plays out in the future. Hopefully they add more things. Cosmetic things will be awesome, especially if you can, you know, show your rank with some sort of in-game cosmetics like card backs or avatars. Then he goes into a little bit more detail about the seasons. As of the December 13th update, ranks have been reset and all players will start at bronze tier 4. We're starting off in what we're calling a preseason from December 13th through January 31st. We want to measure how players are proceeding through the ranking system and making sure everything's working how we hope it will with rank progression and matchmaking, in order to make sure players are being matched quickly and against the opponents we can find for them. There is the question of why we're starting with best of 1 ranked. Of the over 250 million games played on MTG Arena since open beta, 97% have been in best of 1 games. We're looking at this as an opportunity to expand the breadth of competitive Magic, provide a competitive scene for MTG Arena that is familiar to the majority of our audience, and put the ranking system through the largest volume of games we can. So this is, to me, the most interesting bit of information in the entire state of the beta. Essentially what they're saying is there's so many players from other games like Hearthstone, Gwent, any other digital card game out there that are not used to the best of 3 format that's played in paper Magic and the strategy of sideboarding, that they in a way have to accommodate that audience. So what I'm wondering is, how is this going to affect Magic in general? Because there's a best of 1 ranked system, the meta has to adapt to that in some sort of way. Will this make the format more aggressive? Will people put things that were traditionally in their sideboard? Will they main board those cards? How is the meta going to shift because of of this. That's something really interesting, something that understandably a lot of players are going to be skeptical about, and definitely something to keep our eye on. Personally, I'm a best of 3 player. That's where the most competition is. I love the competition, so I'm pretty skeptical about this, but we'll just see what happens in the future. I'm definitely open to giving it a shot, and who knows, maybe if this becomes the new normal for Magic, we'll end up liking it more, but that's just something we'll have to wait and see. They've also made some changes to the interface that I think are pretty interesting. Chris Clay says, with the December update, we'll also be introducing the new iteration on the phase ladder. We're excited to be getting these changes into your hands, and we're looking for feedback on how we can continue to improve functionality around the phase ladder. We've moved the phase ladder to a more minimalistic style to take up less space on the screen. The current phase step you're in is important, but not as important as the previous phase ladder made it out to be. The high pixel space allocated and high heat often distracted from more important information. This was particularly problematic for new players, as we saw many people focusing on the phase ladder at times when it really didn't matter. The turn indicator is now represented by the orange flare. In addition, when it is not a player's turn, the whole phase ladder will fade for your opponent to further help clarify turn, just as yours will fade when it isn't your turn. So we can see right here, this is what it looks like when it is your turn, and this is what it looks like when it's not your turn. Priority now has a larger flare when it switches between players and a higher heat than the previous light blue halo. What's changed around the button? When you enter into combat, we now display a detailed version of all the combat steps above the primary button. This mini ladder will also show stops on your phases and steps as a red octagon and a blue octagon for those on your opponent's turn. Clicking on the mini ladder will toggle stops through 3 states: off, your turn, and your opponent's turn. The damage icon will split to more clearly show the 2 combat damage steps when first strike is part of combat. You can also set stops on any of the new combat steps. We've changed the primary text to next, with a footer that gives more detail on where you can generally expect to end up pending actions from your opponent. We've also changed the combat button to be red to help players distinguish when they've moved into combat. As you can see in the 2 attackers image, above the shield is highlighted when I'm hovering over the primary button, letting me know that the game will be moving to blockers when the button is clicked. I actually really love this. One of the biggest problems I've had with Arena is the lack of detailed information in the combat phase. As you can see, there are tons of steps just in the combat phase alone, and making that information more clear will definitely benefit new players as they grow and get more strategic. It looks like we're also getting an update to the draft bots. Chris Clay says, one of the persistent issues we've had with our draft bots is that up until this point, you've essentially been sitting down at a table with 7 clones. Not just one time, but every time. The randomness within each draft booster helps to keep things variable, but over time, the correct paths for drafts becomes pretty obvious. We've addressed this to some extent with improved balancing of the bot's pick values and adjusting them over time, but that's always been a stopgap measure. In order to really address this, we needed to go further. With this release, we've given the bots drafting Guilds of Ravnica personalities. This means that for Guilds of Ravnica drafts, you'll be sitting down with a table of random bot personalities that each value color combinations differently. For Guilds of Ravnica, this includes bots that prefer each of the guilds, as well as some bots that prefer Abzan, Jeskai, Naya, and more. Some of the bots also have no color preferences and are equally open to all possibilities. For all the personalities, including the no preference bots, we've added a little randomness on the top for each of their picks as well. We believe this introduces a healthy level of variability into each draft and should keep the drafts more interesting. We'll be keeping a close eye on what the bots are doing, and we look forward to hearing about your experiences and suggestions for further improvements. With these changes, it now becomes harder to force a color pair every draft to great success, as depending on who is at the table, different colors will be open in each draft. Like any draft, you can force a color pair, but stay open and sending reading signs can greatly improve the quality of your deck. While we've done plenty of testing to refine the values to make this a good experience, we can only cover a teeny fraction of the drafts that are done on the live game. Please use this thread to provide feedback on our successes, failures, oddities, and anything else you'd like to share. We expect to see cases in this new world where you're passed a great rare pack one pick one because the bot passing to you picked a common from a color they value. For example, it won't happen all the time, but it can happen now. Again, please share your crazy bot story with us. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to go over here. I'm really excited to see what the community community has to say. So please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the different reward tiers. Do you think it will be easy to rank up? Do you think I'm underestimating it and it might be a lot more difficult? Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And make sure to subscribe to Snapkeep Arcade and hit that notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video. This has been Boots with Snapkeep Arcade. Thanks for watching.